Welcome once again to another positional sparring video. Today we are starting inside control. We've got Cooper on top here and Bailey for this clip. Bailey managing to get back to us, guard there. Alright, let's see what we've got happening with the other boys over here. We've got Ryan on top on the near side and Garrett on the far side with Ryan. Okay, nice little gift wrap here from the couple in front of screen. Using that to potentially take the back here. Nice little transition on the far side to mount. Nice little back take here from the front with Ryan. Okay, so you can see the person on bottom here trying to use that forearm to create a little bit of space, a little bit of a wedge, but he's actually holding onto the shoulder with his left hand, which is actually pulling him in closer. So he's kind of working against himself just there. And now we're switching to the other person on top over this side. We've got Kevin and Bailey. Nice little bridge. Kev ducks his head out though, looking for a back take. Inside hook comes on. Top hook loses it. Bailey scrambles and gets back on top, turns into guard. Very, very nicely done there. Almost got mounted in that transition, but managed to turn in and escape and get back on top. So when you're holding somebody down in side control, a couple of things that you want to really focus on, and that is cross-face pressure. So really trying to get some shoulder pressure, bicep, something turning your opponent's head away from you so they can only look in one direction. If they can only look in one direction, they can typically only move in one direction. Now the other thing we want to see is blocking the hip. So on the near side, this partner we have in front, partnership here with Garrett and Ryan on top, we really want to focus on trying to take away space on the near side of their hip so they can't get their legs in to pull guard. That's another thing that we really want to watch for when we're trying to control somebody. And then the underhook is probably the third thing. So keeping that underhook is going to stop your opponent from being able to get to your back, or at least get belly down and work their way into a turtle position or try to wrestle their way back up to their feet. So those three things: near side hip control, cross face pressure, and far side underhook. They're the three really key details that you want to have if you want to try and hold someone down in side control. And you can see here, partnership in front of screen, we've got Cooper on top doing just that. He's got good cross face pressure, he's got a nice underhook, and he's trying to keep the knee in on the near side hip so that he can stop that guard pull from occurring. Okay, they're switching over now. You can see Bailey here down in the front corner of the screen trying to push on the hip, trying to hip escape, create some space. So the general rule of thumb when it comes to grappling exchanges is that if you're trying to escape a position, most of the time you're trying to create space. And if you're trying to hold a position, most of the time you're trying to take space away. So think about that next time you train. You want to think about, if you're on the offense, you want to be as tight as possible. Take away all those little gaps. Make it uncomfortable. Make the person on the bottom struggle to breathe. Make it so that their head's getting twisted one way. They can't move their hips. They can't move their arms properly. Try and really make it tight so that they start to get more and more desperate, and then they're going to start doing things that are going to open up space for you to then hopefully get either a submission or at the very least be able to transition to maybe a better position. So you can see here the person on the bottom on our right of screen as we watch is trying to frame on the hips. He's trying to frame on the armpits now. He's trying to hip escape so that he can create space. Nice, got a nice little frame there. Managed to sit up. and get on top. And then conversely, you can see now the pair in the middle of the three with Bailey on top and Ryan on bottom. Bailey's trying to be as tight as possible. You can see he's trying to block the hip. He's trying to get that hard cross-face pressure, chest to chest. Trying to really make it difficult for Ryan on bottom there to move. And that's what you want to do when you're trying to hold someone down. Get as tight as you can. Make them uncomfortable. And then hopefully that's going to start to open up submission options. Bailey with a nice little escape there, managed to get belly down, come up onto a single leg, and then we stopped. Garrett on the other side now, just transitioning nicely from one side to the other. Nice little block there on the inside hip until he could put his knee in. So run that back, you could see he used his left hand there to block the hip because he didn't have his left knee in place. It's a nice little detail. Bailey with a nice little bridge and roll there, good. So remember, bridging is not just useful when escaping the mount position. Bridging can be used to escape side control. It can be used to help with a number of positions, more like your scarf hold positions and things like that. It can be really good. It can be really good from half guard. You can even use it to sweep. So being able to use that position of the hips is very, very beneficial. Our hips are generally some of our strongest muscles in our body. So we want to try and use them as much as we can. And so bridging, using the power through the glutes, hamstrings, low back, it's a really good way to start to create space to escape. So you'll often see the person on bottom doing bridges, then going into hip escape. So we saw a little example there on this near side with this partnership. Tiny little bridge, little hip escape. Now he's using that bottom leg to try and frame and then get through into a guard. Ryan goes belly down, loses position and gets back mounted. And again, good little bump, little hip escape, and then Kev on this near side partnership managed to slide that shin through, get into a guard again. Okay, they're resetting. We've got big Ryan here on top of Bailey, right in front of the camera. Bailey with a nice little bridge. Can he come up? Yes, gets up. Oh, a little Ryan scramble. No, nicely done. So Ryan outweighs Bailey by around about 50 pounds, about just over 20 kilograms. So nice little use of the hips there from Bailey to bridge out of that side control. Garrett here gets a near side hook, shoots the far leg, gets the back control. Very nice. So now this position here, this is where Ryan wants to come on top. He's losing the back, Bailey's getting his back on the ground. That's where Ryan would want to try and transition to mount. Otherwise, he might risk Bailey turning in and ending up in his guard. You can see Bailey trying to frame on the hips. Ryan, nice timing, steps into mount, very good.